Hello, dear Homopedia family. We have collectively subscribed to a belief that brightness equals luxury, and that the absence of shadow creates cleanliness. This architectural fallacy has resulted in the white box, syndrome spaces that photograph beautifully for the algorithm but repel the human inhabitant. By stripping away all visual friction in favor of high-gloss shiplap and stark white drywall, we have inadvertently designed homes that trigger a subconscious alertness rather than rest. The modern farmhouse, in its quest for purity, has purged the very imperfections that signal safety and history to the human brain. We are left with shells that echo, both acoustically and emotionally. The solution does not lie in changing the paint color, but in fundamentally altering the way the architecture interacts with light and touch. We must pivot toward the Hacienda ethos, a design language rooted in the mastery of the imperfect. The pain you feel, the indefinable coldness, despite the plush throw blankets, is a lack of geological grounding. By introducing the three secrets of Hacienda design, texture over color, wrought iron articulation, and warm lighting, we stop decorating a box and begin crafting an atmosphere. We move from the visual consumption of space to the somatic experience of dwelling. To resolve the sterility of the modern farmhouse, we must first champion the unseen hero of the Hacienda style, the wall surface itself. In standard construction, drywall is finished to a level 5 smoothness, creating a synthetic plane that reflects light evenly and artificially. We reject this flatness. By utilizing lime plaster or a heavy aggregate Roman clay, we introduce a microtopography to the vertical surfaces. This is not merely aesthetic. It changes how sound waves refract and how light is absorbed, instantly softening the acoustic harshness of the room. The spatial friction here is the conflict between the desire for clean lines and the need for organic complexity. A perfectly smooth white wall offers no place for the eye to rest. It is a visual slide that accelerates anxiety. When we layer a hand-troweled plaster finish, we create thousands of microscopic shadows. These imperfections catch the light, slowing down the visual scan of the room. The friction creates a sense of density and permanence that thin coats of latex paint simply cannot emulate. This is our atmospheric pivot, shifting from color as the primary design driver to texture as the emotional anchor. We stop asking, what color should this be? And start asking, how should this feel? In a Hacienda-inspired space, the walls might still be white, but they are a living, white nuanced, depth-filled, and variable depending on the time of day. This textural depth mimics the natural variance found in nature, bridging the gap between the indoors and the landscape. Moving to the floor plane, we encounter another unseen hero, the thermal mass of terracotta or honed stone. The modern farmhouse often relies on engineered wide plank oak, which, while beautiful, can contribute to a monochromatic wood-on-wood fatigue when paired with timber furniture. By introducing the cooling touch of clay or basalt, we provide a literal and figurative grounding. These materials hold temperature and offer a tactile variance underfoot that signals a connection to the earth. The spatial friction arises when the flooring feels too manufactured, too uniform. The luxury vinyl tile that mimics wood grain without the texture creates a cognitive dissonance. The eye sees wood, but the foot feels plastic. This sensory mismatch is a primary contributor to the cold feeling of a home. We resolve this by choosing materials that are honest in their constitution. Authentic saltile tile or tumbled limestone embraces chipping and patina, turning wear into a narrative rather than a defect. Our atmospheric pivot regarding flooring is to embrace the imperfect grid. Unlike the laser-leveled precision of modern tiling, Hacienda flooring often features irregular edges and wide grout lines. This irregularity breaks the rigid geometry of the modern box. It suggests that the home was built by hands, not machines. This subconscious cue of craftsmanship immediately infuses the space with a warmth that transcends the thermostat setting. We must also address the ceiling, often the most neglected plane in farmhouse design. The unseen hero here is the exposed structural beam, not as a decorative box beam glued to drywall, but as a credible architectural element. In true Hacienda design, wood is not just an accent, it is the skeleton. We prioritize rough-hewn timber that displays the adze marks of its creation. This authenticity commands respect and draws the eye upward, expanding the perceived volume of the space. The spatial friction occurs when beams look structural but are clearly cosmetic too thin, spaced incorrectly, or finished with a synthetic stain. This fake architecture contributes to the feeling of living on a movie set rather than in a home. We resolve this by ensuring scale and provenance. If we use beams, they must be substantial enough to theoretically support the roof. We treat the wood with natural oils rather than lacquers, allowing the grain to breathe and darken over time. Now, we transition to the second Hacienda secret, wrought iron details. The unseen hero is the visual weight of the hardware. In a sea of white and beige, the eye searches for an anchor. Standard brushed nickel or matte black aluminum often feels too light, too temporary. Hand-forged iron, with its pitted surface and variable sheen, provides a gravitational pull. It demands attention and creates a necessary contrast that defines the boundaries of the room. The spatial friction is the floating sensation of a room without strong contrast. When door handles, curtain rods, and light fixtures blend into the background, the space lacks definition. It feels untethered. By introducing heavy iron elements, a robust curtain rod, a thick stair railing, distinctive door latches, we punctuate the space. These elements act as punctuation marks in the visual sentence of the room, providing structure and rhythm to the open plan. Our atmospheric pivot is to view iron not as industrial, but as artisanal. The coldness of the farmhouse often comes from mass-produced uniformity. A hand-forged iron railing has slight undulations. It warms to the touch differently than hollow steel. We select ironwork that shows the hammer marks, reminding the occupant of the human energy expended in its creation. This connection to the maker is a powerful antidote to the sterility of the machine age. Consider the staircase, often a focal point in modern farmhouses. The unseen hero is the spindle. Replacing generic turned wood spindles with simple hammered iron bars instantly modernizes the space while rooting it in history. The slim profile of the iron allows for better sight lines, opening up the space visually, while the material itself adds the necessary grimness and weight to ground the airy volume of the stairwell. The spatial friction here is the clash between the desire for openness and the need for safety. Glass railings, while open, feel commercial and cold like a shopping mall. Wood balusters can feel heavy and dated. Iron offers the resolution. It is visually permeable, yet physically substantial. It bridges the gap, offering security without occlusion, and introduces a graphic black line that organizes the architectural composition. This principle extends to furniture. The unseen hero is the iron base of a coffee table or the frame of a chair. By mixing materials iron legs with a wood top or an iron frame with leather upholstery, we break the monotony of the all-wood farmhouse look. This material diversity is key to the gathered, curated aesthetic of the Hacienda style. It implies a collection built over time, rather than a catalog order delivered in a single day. The spatial friction in furniture selection is the showroom syndrome, where everything matches perfectly. This uniformity feels distinctively unhome-like. We introduce friction by mixing eras and origins. An antique Spanish trestle table with iron bracing disrupts the predictability of a contemporary sofa. This clash is where the warmth lives. It forces the brain to engage with the story of the objects, rather than just their utility. Finally, we arrive at the third and perhaps most critical secret: warm lighting. The unseen hero is the color temperature of the bulb. The default for many modern fixtures is 300OK to 500OK, a spectrum that mimics daylight, but at night feels like an interrogation room. We ruthlessly eliminate this. We standardize on 270OK or even 2400,000, the color of a setting sun or a candle flame. This amber hue fundamentally changes the hormonal response of the body, signaling rest. The spatial friction is the tyranny of the recessed can light. The Swiss cheese ceiling grid floods the room with flat, overhead light that eliminates shadows and flattens texture. It is efficient, yes, but it is clinically cold. We resolve this by turning off the overheads and relying almost exclusively on eye-level lighting. Sconces, floor lamps, and table lamps create pools of illumination that invite intimacy and conversation. Our atmospheric pivot is to design darkness as much as we design light. In the Hacienda tradition, shadows are celebrated. They create mystery and depth. By using directional sconces made of perforated iron or fixed ceramic, we cast patterns on the walls. The light interacts with the plaster texture we discussed earlier, highlighting the hand of the artisan. The room becomes a canvas of light and shadow, dynamic and breathing. The unseen hero of lighting fixtures is the material of the shade. We avoid clear glass or exposed bulbs, which create glare. Instead, we opt for materials that diffuse and warm the light: alabaster, rawhide, or linen. A wrought iron chandelier with true beeswax candle sleeves creates a soft, flickering glow that softens the hard edges of the architecture. The fixture itself becomes a sculpture, beautiful, even when unlit. The spatial friction of the statement chandelier is often its scale. Too small, and it looks cheap. too shiny, and it looks gaudy. We resolve this by oversizing the fixture, but simplifying the form. A large, simple iron ring chandelier anchors a vaulted farmhouse ceiling, lowering the visual center of gravity and making the cavernous room feel human-scaled. It occupies the void without cluttering it. We also consider the transition zones. The unseen hero of the hallway is the rhythm of the sconce. Instead of a runway of can lights, a series of iron sconces guiding the way creates a procession. The light washing down the wall highlights the texture of the plaster and the grain of the floor. It turns a corridor into a gallery, a journey rather than just a conveyance. The atmospheric pivot in the kitchen involves under-cabinet and island lighting. We avoid the clinical lab feel by using warm, concealed LED strips that wash the backsplash in a soft glow. Above the island, we reject the trio of tiny pendants in favor of one or two substantial lantern-style fixtures. These act as hearths, gathering points that define the kitchen as the emotional center of the home. We must not forget the exterior connection. The unseen hero is the view through the window at night. If the interior is bright and the exterior is black, the windows become mirrors, trapping us inside. We resolve this by lighting the exterior foliage or courtyard walls. This eliminates the black mirror effect and visually extends the warm living space into the garden, a core tenet of Hacienda indoor-outdoor flow. The spatial friction of smart lighting is the complexity. We simplify. We desire analog control dimmers that slide, switches that click. The tactile experience of adjusting the light contributes to the sense of control and ownership over the atmosphere. We program scenes not for parties or reading, but for morning and evening, aligning the home's rhythm with the circadian rhythm of the inhabitants. Synthesis. By weaving these threads together, the tactile resistance of plaster, the grounding gravity of iron, and the amber embrace of low lighting, we rewrite the script of the home. We move away from the performative perfection of the modern farmhouse and into the restorative reality of the hacienda. The coldness dissipates, not because we turned up the heat, but because we engaged the senses. The transition from modern farmhouse to modern hacienda is not merely a stylistic pivot. It is a rejection of the disposable in favor of the enduring. We have learned that the feeling of coldness in a home is rarely a temperature issue. It is a sensory deprivation issue. By resolving the spatial conflicts of smooth surfaces and flat lighting with the friction of texture and the depth of shadow, we return the human element to the built environment. The secrets of iron, earth, and amber light are timeless tools that anchor us in the present moment. Ultimately, we design to resolve the friction between modern life and our ancient biological needs. The sterile white box creates a low-level background anxiety, a sense of exposure. The Hacienda solution offers the architectural equivalent of an embrace. By implementing these three core shifts, we do not just decorate a house. We heal the disconnect between the dweller and the dwelling, creating a space that doesn't just look expensive, but feels profoundly, soulfully rich.